Do you often find yourself being the go-between, the middleman, the peacemaker, or the mediator? Are you feeling a little bit nervous about this holiday season to be around friends or especially around family to get pulled into the middle of a conflict again? This is one of the most common dysfunctional patterns that happens in familial dynamics, and it's called triangulation. I want to tell you what it is and tell you how to break it, because triangulation results in you, the one in the middle, taking on the anxiety of the system. What's up, guys? My name's John Paul Dabrowski. I'm a therapist trying to keep it real, raw, and radically human, helping you to understand how do these relationships work, how does life work, and how can I change it, sharing the stuff that I've learned along the way. So a triangle, as Maury Bowen said it, is what happens when there's two people in an unstable relationship and they don't have the maturity, the differentiation, the self-leadership to talk about it between them. They pull in a third. So if mom and dad are having a problem, there's tension between them. Let's say dad starts talking to the son about it. Mom starts talking to the daughter about it. Dad starts talking to the daughter about it. And when dad goes and says, your mom's doing this, your mom's doing that, all of a sudden, the tension in the relationship is not being resolved between mom and dad. The tension is being brought into the relationship between daughter and father. And this stabilizes the relationship because as long as dad is telling the daughter about all the problems that he has with mom, the tension in the relationship isn't becoming explosive. But the cost is you, the one that's getting pulled into the triangle. Because all the anxiety of the relationship is getting pushed into you like you are a pressure chamber. And as long as triangulation happens, the issues between members don't get resolved. The difficulty is that when we're young, we're vulnerable to get pulled into triangles. We don't know about it. And so when we go home to the same family system, we're so used to those old roles that it just happens automatically. There's two fundamental ways to break the triangle. The first is just to tell mom or dad, hey, I don't want to talk about this anymore. And if you keep telling me, I'm going to tell mom everything that you tell me. The second is to tell mom. So essentially what we're saying is, this is your problem. I don't want to be in it. That's the fundamental way to break the triangle, is to say, I don't belong in this conversation. This conversation isn't about me. Either you tell mom or I'll tell mom. Either you start talking to mom or I'll start talking to mom. And this isn't about betrayal. It's about saying, this isn't my job. I'm not the mediator. Because when there's tension in a relationship and a third member, oftentimes children, get pulled into that triangle, then the child absorbs the energy. And that's probably the anxiety that you're feeling about going home. So this doesn't just happen between mom and dad and children. It can happen between kids. It can happen between siblings. It can happen between friends. And I want to hear from you. What are the most common places that you see the triangle?